Great. How are you?
I'm fantastic. Cue the fake laugh. Let's go back in time, Christine Sinclair.
Oh my God.
Yeah. 2013. What do you remember about that year?
We won.
Yes. Okay, what do you remember about winning?
Kat Williamson getting a red card.
That is true. Oh my God, I didn't remember that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Sorry, Kat.
Sorry.
That's a few times I've brought that up today. I remember Tobin scoring a banger. I remember you standing on your head. And somehow we managed to win with 10 players against Western New York.
In
Western New York, where I used to play.
Yeah. This picture, boom.
A lot of happy people.
Portland, how did you first hear about NWSL Portland? Where did that come from?
So I was actually about to go to Paris to play for PSG. And there were rumors, there were rumblings that the NWSL was going to form, and obviously having played in the WPS, I just heard through the grapevine that Portland might be getting a team. And so I canceled everything about my trip to Paris because I couldn't imagine being somewhere else if there was a team here or a league in the US even, because I'm such a homebody. No, that would have never worked for me.
And then when the list came out and you had to put 1, 2, 3, you put
Portland. I'm not even joking.
I remember it.
And I remember at the time the US soccer president, Sunil.
Yeah.
I ran into him at some FIFA thing and he's like, Christine, you're supposed to put 3 cities. And I'm like honestly,
Northeast Portland, Southeast Portland.
I'm only playing in Portland.
Yeah.
Could you imagine?
No.
Yeah.
But how did...
That's not gonna happen.
When you actually found out that this was going to be your home and this was going to be your place, how did that feel?
Well, Karina, I feel like we were on a road trip with the national team when we got that information, and you were right there. And we both found out that we were going to Portland. Were we in China, maybe?
Yes.
I can't.
And you were up for the Ballon d'Or, and I needed the world to know who you were.
So, I mean, I kind of knew I was going to Portland because I didn't put anywhere else down.
Yeah.
But just to have it
solidified
that this was going to happen and I'd be playing in my hometown.
I was
like, all right, let's go. And then I was like, who else did we get? Are we going to win?
We had that discussion. Yeah. I remember I always talk about walking out on the first game day. Mm-hmm. What that felt like. Do you remember that moment?
I do.
Yeah.
I mean, you were already out there because the keepers warm up an hour before everyone else. But I remember walking out and looking towards the Riveters.
Yeah.
And it was full. It was just kickoff's not for an hour and a bit. Why are you here so early? But I mean, obviously, I went to UP, so I knew what was possible in this city, and I knew how the fans loved soccer, but loved women's soccer like nowhere else in this country. So I knew what was possible. Yeah. But until it happens on game day, you never know. And then to walk out, it was pretty cool.
And you hear the drums. And they did it for the entire season. Did you know then it would be what it is now?
I mean, you hope.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously both of us played in other leagues that failed. You hope that this was the league that would survive. Yeah. And with a club like Portland, it gave it that chance, I think. Other cities could see what is possible when you actually invest and support and come out. And it's just grown steadily every single year. So I want to say I think it's possible. I knew it was possible. I mean, I've been going to Timbers games forever, and I knew what was possible. It was just would the league survive?
Do you understand the role you've played in this club?
No. I honestly look. I wrap my head around the fact of what I've done here in this city. Starting at UP, winning national championships. I mean, sitting on this couch, I'm like, oh, there's my uncle with Clive. Just casual. I mean, I understand that I've been a part of something special and part of the growth of the game here, but it has by no means been just me.
In 2013, there was a piece of something that you wanted to help create special here in Portland. and obviously you talk about legacy, leaving it better than you found it. But do you remember what that was?
No, was it something inspirational?
Yes, it was. Creating a certain type of atmosphere and history for Portland.
God, I said that? I mean, that sounds like something I might say. No, but you have to understand. Okay, so like, I'm a diehard like Liverpool fan.
Yeah.
You know this, and I've always like for the women's game like dreamt of an Anfield.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, and I think that's what has started here since day one. You know, we've created like a fortress here and a place where other teams. It's weird. They don't want to come and play, but they do want to come and play because there's no other atmosphere like it.
Yeah.
And as a result, though, we have tended to get the best out of our opponents. And, you know, this is the game. This is the game for them in the season.
What makes our fans so special?
I think, like, obviously their passion, but like their unwavering support of the club, the players. I mean, this club, as you know, we've been through some ups and downs, and they have been there, and they challenge people. They truly care about like the product on the field, how the organization is run. Like, they feel a part of the club, and they want the club to represent them. But they're just so Portland.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like,
What is Portland?
I have no idea.
You've been here for long enough.
No.
How do you define what is Portland?
It's a unique city. No, it's just like a place where everyone can be themselves.
Yeah.
And like, it's had its struggles, it's bouncing back, like it's got fight, it's got character, it's got personality. Like, it never, like a city that never gives up. I don't know, for me it's a place everyone can be themselves.
What have you learned about yourself through Portland?
That I can be just me. Like, the quiet person, the like sarcastic person, like, I don't know. This has just become my hometown, and it will forever be my hometown.
2014 hat trick against Boston, 6-3 win over Boston Breakers.
Oh,
in
you've
front
got
of a sold-out
stats.
crowd. Yeah. Defending champions going into the second year of the NWSL. How did that year start for you? What you can remember from it? And why was that year important to the club?
But I don't know, like I think I like that second year, that third year, even the fourth year, like it was like this, our club, the league, just trying to like build a foundation that was sustainable and you could grow from.
This year.
Yeah, we won.
Looking at the pictures, look at some different faces there. Look at some young faces. Look at the supporters.
Even I look young.
Kling's in there.
Yeah.
Hubley's in there. What do you remember about this championship?
Oh God, look at that crew.
Still
Celeste.
showing up.
Yeah, that game was like in Orlando, and that many Riveters showed up to support us. It felt like a home game. It was incredible. And I look at that group. We played North Carolina in the final. And I mean, North Carolina were stacked, but man, that team just fought and clawed. And I remember AD at the end of the game, because it was the team got a shutout. She handed out magic erasers or something to all her defenders, like because it was like clean sheets, you know. I don't know. It was just a special group, and then like you have internationals like Amandine and a truly international team that one was, and thank God Lindsay scored.
Like, Sinc, what did you learn along the way? You're so humble. It's beautiful, but at some point, these years you learn something about yourself, and that's what I'm trying to understand.
I think what I've learned about being here is like building something, like, and committing to something, and like trying to like truly create something special. And like, obviously as a player, you can perform on the field, but it's like, how do you interact with the fans, the community? Like, how do you build something that's sustainable and like everlasting, and that like from day one to who knows whenever, like year 100, like people know, like the Thorns, they were the club. They are the club in the NWSL, like from day one, and no other club can say that.
And I mean, it's not just about the championships.
Oh God, no. The championship is fun. It's great to win. Everyone loves winning. It's like we compete. We're out there training every day to try and get better. But man, it's the connections and the relationships you create and the people that you meet along the way. It's the 15 seconds you're able to spend with a young kid after the game. Like, I don't know, those are the moments that like.
You talk about the fans. Do you have a moment or a memory of an interaction with a fan?
The first thing that popped into my head was actually like coming to Timbers games and having like young girls and boys come up to me and like, I don't know, like that's pretty cool. Like,
yeah. You never notice it because I noticed there was one game I talked to you after you were subbed off and I'm like, Sinc, did you look up? Because you're getting standing ovations now, right? When you come off, it's standing ovations. Why don't you look up and see how much the city loves you?
I look up occasionally and like applaud. It's just not me. Like I am grateful. I appreciate it. I am in the heat of a game. Like if I'm being subbed off, for instance, I'm going, whoever coming on, we better win. Like get your job, you know what I mean? Like, or I'm like trying to like slowly walk off because we're winning and it's like, oh, sorry, ref. You know, like it's, after the game is when you soak it, or at least I soak it in.
What game has been the most special for you at Providence Park?
I mean, we've had some doozies like against Seattle, for instance, like I think we played them like in the semifinal or like here and beating them. Like there's just something about beating Seattle. It's always like so nice. The first game obviously sticks out, but even the last, like against Orlando, like, man, we do things dramatically here, that's for sure. So, I don't know, there's been a ton.
When you score a goal like that against Orlando, or the one last year you score and you're hitting your chest, and what is that, what are you trying to, what comes up in your mind at that?
I think like you talk about two specific goals where like, think about the one, was it last year or 2 years ago? And it was like, obviously like a lot had happened with the club and all the reporting had come out and it was just, yeah, I just remember scoring and just like just some things are bigger, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like this club, this city, like, it's just like this passion I have, like we've got this, let's go, like come on, you know? And then against Orlando, like it was a game we had to win and obviously my time is coming to an end and it was just like kind of sealed the victory, and then to be able to run over to the bench and just then do my little celebration with Hina, like, yeah, I mean there's no better place to score goals than here.
Yeah. I'm wearing the shirt.
Yeah,
you'll never ever. You're probably like, you're an idiot. Greatest of all time. You don't see yourself as that. It's coming to an end, and for an athlete, it's one of those things like you don't think about it, but what are you thinking about when you think about it?
It's weird. I've been asked this like weirdly a lot today, like teammates and like, are you sad? How do you feel? And it's, I think if this game was on November 1st, like we had comfortably clinched a playoff spot and we could just like, it could be a celebration, a little like, hey, you know, do the queen wave and like, I think I'd feel it more, but like, I'm preparing to win a soccer game. I want this team to make the playoffs. I want this team to like have a deep run, have a chance at a championship. Like, that's how I'm envisioning myself going out. So I haven't really thought about the other side of what could happen. But when I think about in general the end of my career, like I was saying to these guys, like I've literally played as long as I can. Like I have done everything I could for my country. I've done everything I could for the city of Portland. I've literally ran as many 90-minute games as I like humanly possible. So in that sense, I have no regrets. It'll be interesting, like when the team starts preseason next year, like, and I'm like, what am I gonna do? That will be an interesting time, I'm sure. But I mean, I've always just, when it came to the end of my career, I wanted no regrets, and I don't have any.
Your nieces, they've seen Auntie Sinc grow up. They've known Auntie Sinc as a soccer player, and then the sarcastic auntie who spoils them and buys them all the candy and does everything for them.
Might be.
How are they going to experience you?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of family coming down. I think they're of an age where they understand, obviously, what I do and play soccer, and I happen to be good at it. But I think they're also at an age where they're excited, like, as they put it, for me to be unemployed.
Okay.
So I can spend more time with them. Specifically, take them to Disneyland.